Good morning and welcome back to the Alex Hour. I'm your host, Alex Roberts. Today we will be discussing why society is changing so much for women but not so much for women's sports. Here to discuss this topic with me today is Hannah Ford and Jonathan Teal. Why do y'all think female athletes don't get the same kind of praise as male athletes?
I think it's because in male sports you see a lot of the wow factor, like you see the dunks and the big plays, and a lot of the time in women's sports you don't get that same effect, and so that's what people want to see, and so that's what they're watching.
I would agree with that. I think that it's a lot to do with the stars in the NBA and because I think that's the spectrum of what we compare is with basketball, men's basketball and women's basketball, and I think the wow factor is a very big part of it.
So it's the same sport though. What is it that makes it so different?
I just think it's the way the media has portrayed it, I would believe. I think that the way that we kind of talk about LeBron James and all those type of players, you don't talk about Lisa Leslie and the girls like that, and as much as the media should probably.
I agree. I mean, they're great athletes, but you just don't hear about them just because the media is so focused on, all of the other male athletes that are in the spotlight.
Yeah, I agree with that. And honestly, I don't really think it's going to change, but do you guys think it will ever change?
I don't think so. I mean, as much as we would all like to see equality, I think that, just like I said earlier, it's the male sports that are bringing in the money, and that's what people are wanting to watch.
I think it very well could change. I think, especially this year, I've seen a lot of NBA players kind of advocating for more attention towards WNBA sports because I know they respect that game a lot more than the fans do. So I could see the fans kind of listening to the NBA players and saying, maybe I should start watching this team, maybe I should start paying attention to this league. So I think it could very well change.
So what can we do to get more people to show up to these games?
I don't think there's much that we can do. I think that it's a lot to do with public opinion. So I think it'd be centered on what the media does and what NBA players start to do.
I agree. I think if people listen to, the male players that they're watching, then eventually they will, like what Jonathan said earlier. So.
All right, well, thank you guys, and thanks for watching. I'm your host, Alex Roberts, and we'll see you next week.